Welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my Sunscape oil painting. Yesterday I worked on the sky. I did it all with the palette knife. Now I'm going to be working on some of the water areas. You have an ocean here and some rocks. I'll probably do the rocks in the third part of this series. Right now I'll be working on the water. So what I'm going to do is take white, I have titanium white, black, purplish red, and blue. And I'm going to make sort of like a purplish, grayish color to paint in the ocean. So I'll take some white, a little bit of black, sort of mix these colors together. So that's sort of like it's not straight gray, it's not purple, it's sort of in between gray and purple. And that'll be my ocean color. Then there'll be a lighter color for highlights and darker for shadows. I can take the same color and sort of mix that off to the side, and that'll be my shadowy color. So I sort of just use less white in that mixture there. And then here I have more white, and this will be my highlight color. Let me just clean the brush. I mean the knife, not the brush. So I used to call it a brush. And sort of mix this color, that'll be my highlight color. So I have 3 different variations of value of the same color. So now what I'll do is I'll go up to the canvas. I'm working on a canvas panel. And I'll sort of just use the knife and sort of dab in to try to establish that straight horizon there with the knife. I used a piece of tape to make it as straight as possible. And now I'm using the knife to go up to that line that I created and sort of establish that line with paint. Just go right along that edge there. Keep reloading the knife wherever I need to reload. Mix up a little bit more paint. I'm sort of running out of what I'm working on there. Mixing up that mid-tone. Just sort of go along that line there. Trying to be careful not to get it up into the sky. Come along the right side, fill in. Just trying to fill in color here. I'm not trying to vary the color at this point. Just trying to fill it in. Get that line established. Alright, so I have the right part there established, a little bit more here. Trying not to see that little white amount there between the 2 values. I'm trying not to see any blank canvas showing. I'm trying to go up to the sky. Right there. If it's a little off, that's okay. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Alright, so I have that mostly blocked in. A little bit on this side. Straight. A little bit of yellow in the paint there, that's okay. Now, bring back my reference photo here I'm looking at. Alright, so that's that. Now, let me wipe the knife. I'll sort of figure out where I want darker areas. It's going to be a wave. Let me figure out where the main wave is. Sort of establish that. It's going to be right in here. I'm going to mix up a little bit more paint also. So I'm going to establish where that is, and then a little bit grayer, so a little bit more black. Grayer, that's a little bit too purple. Here's a little bit better there. This will be the main wave of the painting. And just gonna sort of bring it all the way back. Bring it a little bit at an angle so it looks like it goes back a little bit, so it gives me a little bit of depth. There's going to be a splash coming up there where there's a rock underneath the wave. There's our main wave. And let that come over there. Put the top of this down so it doesn't move around too much. It happens to me sometimes. Alright, so it's going to sort of splash up there. I'm going to grab a little bit of brown. Here's my brown color. Brown gray color. Brown gray color. Mix that with some black, make it a little darker. And right up in here, where this splashes, you have a rock right up in there. It's sort of coming up. Right there. That's a rock right there. Rocks sticking up there in the water. Just figure out where these rocks are. There's one here. There's a bunch of rocks over here. Dry paint there. And where is my brown? I had some brown here I lost. Oh, there it is. A little bit of Van Dyke brown. It's a nice color. Sort of a chocolatey brown. And let that sort of come down there. There'd be rocks in the water. Stick up there. Not over mixing the paint, letting that sort of just kind of happen there like that. And that sort of projects that way a little. Over here is a big rock sticking up. Okay, so I'm getting the basic composition laid out. Grab another plate I work off of. Wipe this. One thing good about working with palette knives is you don't have to wipe them as much. or wash them like you would with if you're using a brush. It's easier just to wipe them off. Now, the background, this is red, blue. Making a couple waves in the background. Sort of a light purple. Sort of a light purple in the back. Just adding a little bit of gray to it to gray it down a little bit. I don't want it too bright purple. Just a sort of like purplish gray. And back in the distance, that's a little bit too dark. And the other light. You have to sort of experiment with your colors. Like right there, I didn't know how dark it would be till I went up to the canvas, and I realized. That's why a little white in there. There's a little wave back in there. And then come all across. Bring that across. And another little wave coming here. Coming down. So bumped into each other a little bit there. Back here's a wave. Just trying to add some dark areas so when I come in with the light, it'll have a little bit of contrast. So bring it down a little and put the waves way off in the distance. Way back there, way back in the distance. Okay. Now I'm going to take that color, mix white with it. I have to use a lot of white. Use a lot of white. Taking out the trash off in the distance. Please excuse that noise. I'm working outside. Alright, so I'm making a lighter version of that color. Not too light, because I want it to look like sort of like a twilight scene. Mix it together, but it's not straight white. It's a little bit lighter than what's on there. Now I'll sort of go in between here and sort of drop that in. I have to work into that dark. Just let it highlight the ocean back in the distance. So here is a little brighter. Here's a little darker. I have to string everything. I'm sort of just laying the paint on there. I don't think I ever painted a Sunscape with just the palette knife. First time for everything, really. Maybe we know there's going to be some splashies right up here. Let's come down into that wave a little. That's what a splash is going to be. More of that white. And I can always let it dry and come back and brighten whatever needs to be lightened. Try not to let it mix together too much. So the color stays nice and vivid. So just laying the paint on there, not playing with it too much. And come over here. Get most of the canvas filled in. Also, I'm not filling in everything. Just kind of like mix it together there, like a wave sort of crashing over there. Use the tip of the knife to add some lines in there, a little more interest. Grab some more white. Use the whole tube here. See how much time I have. I got 11 minutes, all right. Use the whole tube. And get that filled in. Some watery actions, motions there. A little bit brighter. And sort of climb that wave, that direction. Be careful not to get rid of all my dark. Don't kill all the dark. Make sure you leave that in there. Probably the faster you paint it, the better it's going to look, really. You have better movements. Try not to bump into that. Those rocks too much. Here I need to let it dry and go over it because it's not going to... Well, it doesn't have to be... Actually, it can be dark. It doesn't really matter that much right there. Now that I looked at it. See if I can see sometimes when you use a easel that has this part protruding, it's kind of hard to work on it. It's good to have an easel that's like in line with that. See, like that? So I might have to get a new easel that does that. You want the easel right at the edge so you can just go straight to the edge of the painting. White. This painting needs a lot of white. Now let me see some white here in front. Try not to bump into that brown too much. Some red there. Some a little purpley, a little gray, a little purple. It's all impressionistic. Different than Most of the paintings I've done, not most of them, some of them, most of it. So you like to paint paintings are more, oops, see how that fell off there. Paintings are a little bit more detailed than this. Sometimes when you scrub the canvas, see, that happens like that. Right there, colorful. But we're about 20 minutes in the video, so I think I'm going to stop pretty soon. Let's get the rest of this white put in. Get the rest of that white. My palette, might as well use it. Alright, so I'll stop there. I think we did pretty well. Ocean in the background, big wave coming in, some rocks it's crashing against, and I think we have it. This is part 2. I'll be back with part 3. This gets a little bit closer to drying. I'll be working on making this painting a little bit more detailed, a little more colorful, and fix wherever I need to fix it. Thanks for watching.